Thank you, Ms. Bush. I now want to recognize Mr. Fallon for his 5 minutes of questioning.
Chairman, thank you for your graciousness. I appreciate it. Oh, the currency of identity politics. I want to talk about creating jobs in this country. We have to unleash the American capitalistic tiger. We've been paying people to stay unemployed for far too long. And anytime you subsidize something and incentivize it, it's not a miracle at all that you're going to get more of it. The unemployment payments are continuing. The federal unemployment payments are continuing until September 6th. And if some of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle had their way, they'd extend them even further. What we need to do is eliminate them forthwith, right now, immediately. And I have a great idea. Let's stop paying people to be unemployed and incentivize them to go out and not exist, but live. Our country's reached the end of the COVID pandemic. If anybody wants a vaccine, it is available and it is free. And I would highly advise anyone, any adult in this country, to get it. I got immunized the old-fashioned way. I had COVID and it was awful. It damn near killed me. It was terrible. I don't want anybody to go through an experience like that. And when you have over 52.5% of the country has received at least one dose of the vaccine, our mask mandates have been rescinded, and we're finally returning to normal. The things about the identity politics that have bothered me is I've seen over the last several months in Texas and here in D.C., people accusing COVID of being racist. Fossil fuels today apparently is racist, and now the climate is racist. I was unaware of these things as a problem ever, but apparently some people believe they are. So let's look at some data and some facts. Our African-American brothers and sisters in 1900 had an average life expectancy of 33 years of age. And then through the next 120 years of further industrialization and apparently pollution, that life expectancy pre-COVID was 74 years of age, a 224% increase. And before COVID, blacks and Latinos had a very similar life expectancy. Whites, it was 47 years in 1900, so a huge disparity between blacks for sure. And it was raised pre-COVID to almost 80 years of age. So we are doing something right in this country. Let's not be fooled. The American Jobs Plan is another massive Biden spending plan that will yield not the results that were being promised. And I believe in the American people, and I believe in entrepreneurialism, and I believe capitalism is the one form of the one economic system that has ripped mankind, humankind, out of poverty. Socialism didn't do it. Communism didn't do it. Kinship gathering didn't do it. Mercantilism didn't do it. Nothing did it. Capitalism did it. And now we're splitting hairs because we're not a perfect country. Mr. Hawkins, how much capital has been raised for investments through the Opportunity Zones?
So far, according to the IRS, $24 billion with a B has been committed to opportunity funds, the vehicles for making these investments. It's estimated that about $75 billion will come into the zones over the next 10 years. And so we're on track for that $75 billion. And again, the Council of Economic Advisors estimates that 1 million Americans will be lifted out of poverty as a result of the policy. One thing that is important to note is that this policy is not a panacea for eliminating poverty. What it is it's a tool in the toolbox of community development. It's a particularly sharp tool, and it's a tool that has broad bipartisan support. The Biden administration and the HUD secretary, as well as the folks at EPA and other areas, have expressed support for Opportunity Zones. And the Opportunity Zones policy is the only aspect of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act that have seen bipartisan amendments after tax reform.
And real quick, Mr. Hawkins, can you explain how Opportunity Zones help target investments to historically disadvantaged communities?
Yes, so what you're looking at is specific standards that were developed in line with the former New Markets Tax Credit, with basically where areas have high poverty rates and low income. And so from those areas, governors were able to choose the areas within their states, 25% of those designated communities, as opportunity zones.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I yield back. Thank you.
Thank you.